Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your invitation to both the project and this conference. And I hope I will fit in time. I'm so nervous, sorry for problems. And I'm so happy that everything works somehow. So I start to present my presentation. First of all, I would like to say that we all know that there are big changes in Europe. The portrait of family has been changing, which is reflected in legal orders in different countries, as well as in the case law of the European Court of Human Rights. The Czech Republic doesn't stay completely out of the European development, and the question I pose to myself is whether the Czech Republic reflects the changes in family and family life adequately, and whether there should be more legal innovations in the future. The question is the Czech Republic conservative in this respect, as it is traditionally seen, or more progressive? And let me start by briefly touching on some main turning points in our history and legal development. I hope, yes, it works. As you can see, I have listed the most important turning points and acts here. First of all, I would like to stress that the Czech Republic is a part of former Czechoslovakia, and still we have so much in common with Slovakia and Poland. Our legal orders are quite similar, thanks to the common Czechoslovak Police Commission that was established after the Second World War. And in 1949, new acts on family were passed in all the countries, and family law started to be treated as independent branch. And this model was abandoned in the year 2012 by the Czech lawmaker when the new Czech Civil Code was passed. And family law was incorporated in its book 2, Family Law. The new Civil Code regulates marriage only for people of the opposite sex. However, there is a pending draft in the Parliament of the Czech Republic which should bring significant changes in the legal order. I would like to add that there is the Act on Registered Partnership from 2006 as well, which regulates status relationship between the same-sex partners. And unfortunately, the same-sex relationship was not included into new civil code due to political reasons, although the main authors of the new civil code intended to regulate all the family models in one code. I would like to draw your attention to the Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedoms, as there is another pending draft in the Parliament of the Czech Republic. I will tell you details later on. Now I would like to say that the Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedoms, as a part of the constitutional order, provides protection to the family as such without specifying it. And thanks to the case law of the Constitutional Court of the Czech Republic, very important changes to family law have been already made, especially in the field of the rights of the child. I will concentrate on it later on. About family, regarding family and family life in the Czech Republic, please have a look at the charts by the Czech Statistical Office. You can see the charts based on accurate statistical data. They show the continuous decrease of the number of marriages and quite a high divorce rate within the year 1950 and to 2017. It might be interesting for you that there was the population and housing census in spring this year, 2021, which will probably show a bit different figures and will help to draw topical portrait of family and family life in the Czech Republic. Notwithstanding the foregoing, it's believed that the COVID crisis has significantly influenced family and family life in the Czech Republic and indeed all over the world, but it's still far too early to see the changes clearly and comment on them. Now, I would like to give you more details about marriage and registered partnership. The concept of marriage is quite clear. As I mentioned before, marriage is a permanent union only of a man and a woman. So the same-sex couples are not allowed to get married, and it would be non-marriage, it would be matrimonium putativum. And for the people of the same sex, it's registered partnership is available. And as I have said already, there are two pending drafts. I will tell you later more details. Regarding impediments to marriage, they are traditional, and the concept of impediments is quite limited, and you can see details in front of you. I'm just not going to read them. They are quite, I think they are quite common in Europe. Regarding conclusion of marriage, simply it's based on a mutual consent of a man and a woman, and thanks to the Slovaks, thanks to the Slovak Republic Slovaks, we have a church wedding as well. So people can choose between civil wedding and church wedding. And regarding church wedding, first the couples have to go to municipalities to obtain a special certificate which says that there are no impediments to marriage. So first, everybody has to go to the municipality, and if people want civil wedding, they just go in front of municipality, and if people want a church wedding, they have to go before churches and religious, which have special rights, let's say. And in the last column, you see churches with special rights for religious weddings. And for instance, here I have listed some churches without special rights. So in front of these registered churches, it's not possible to conclude marriage. Regarding personal rights and duties of spouses, well, let's say they are traditional. A man and a woman are equal. They have to live together. In marriage, they have to be faithful to each other, and so on. So nothing special. I would say traditional concept of personal rights and duties of spouses. Regarding property rights and duties of spouses, there have been a lot of changes thanks to the new civil code. The key concept of marital property law, you can see, is a community of property. Community property is statutory regime, which is quite broad. What belongs to community of property: assets acquired by spouses during marriage, with some exceptions, and liabilities incurred by spouses during marriage. The spouses and spouses to be are allowed to modify community of property by a contract, which what is possible. They can restrict the scope of community of property. They can extend the scope of community of property, and it's quite new. They are allowed to decide on separation of property. Why I am saying that? It was not possible in past, during communist past. And regarding another property right, it's maintenance duty. One word. It's based on the same living standard. Regarding divorce law, we have only one ground for divorce. It's called irretrievable breakdown. So divorce here in the Czech Republic is not based on guilty, and it's not based on a contract. So the only ground is irretrievable breakdown, and the law says, the code says that marriage can be divorced when marriage is deeply and permanently disturbed, and then cohabitation cannot be expected. There are special proceedings, and of course there are two variations of divorce. It's connected with proving and with consequences. So the first variation, we call it divorce, which changes only the status. The couples have to prove the breakdown of the marriage and the reasons. They have to list the reasons. And then the divorce means only change of the status. And regarding another variation of divorce is based on just proving the breakdown and on the contract. So the couple has to provide the court the contract on settlement of the property, family dwelling, and on extramarital maintenance. And regarding the maintenance, there are two possibilities. We distinguish between adequate maintenance and the same living standard on special grounds. It's not used in practice very much. I come back to divorce with minor children. There are special rules, and the law says that the marriage cannot be divorced unless the special court doesn't regulate situation of minor children after the divorce. What is necessary, that the court shall decide or approve the agreement on custody, maintenance, and visiting rights. Custody can be individual or alternative. Regarding the maintenance between the parents and the children, there are no limits. It means that the children have right to the same living standard like the parents. Of course, it's difficult in practice, but well, the law in books is quite clear. There are some pending drafts, but it would be for a long time. Regarding the concept of a registered partnership, as I said, we have a special act which was passed in 2006, and it was passed in quite difficult proceedings because the President of the Czech Republic used his power of veto, and it was quite right because his opinion was that this act is not on registered partnership but just on registration. The concept is quite, say, empty. Anyway, this act was passed like politics compromise, and registered partnership is open only for two persons of the same sex. So it's not a marriage, and it's not allowed for a man and a woman. There are some pending drafts. I will let you perhaps more if I have time. And regarding rights and duties, well, in personal sphere, well, it's equality, but the act doesn't say anything about the duty to live together, to help each other, and so on. And regarding property rights, there is no property, no community property, but surprisingly, there is maintenance duty between registered partners. It's the same, more or less, like between spouses. And there are seldom contracts, which is important, and people simply don't think about things like that. And regarding partners as parents, registered partners have no right to adopt a child together, and they can't become common foster parents. What is new, thanks to the Constitutional Court, registered partners have right to become common guardians of the child, and there is a right to adopt a child during registered partnership. So it's only single adoption, but the fact that one of the partners is registered is not a problem anymore. There are two pending drafts. So you can see that one is, let's say, conservative, and another one, let's say, is progressive. The first one is connected with the Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedoms, which says, as I said at the beginning, that parenthood and family is protected without specifying. And the amendment should say that parenthood, the family, and marriage as a union of a man and a woman are under the protection of the law. We will see if this amendment will be passed. There will be elections, so we will see. And regarding another draft by deputies, the civil code, although it's quite new, should be changed. And regarding written law, it said that marriage is a permanent union of a man and a woman. And if the amendment was passed, the law would say, civil code would provide that marriage is a permanent union of two people. And within the discussion, we can speak about the draft more, if you will be interested. Regarding cohabitation, it's not regulated, so it's quite clear. And what I would like to stress, if people without marriage have a child together, there is no discrimination. So there is no discrimination of a mother and a father, and the child, and the protection is quite good in both personal and property sphere. Regarding motherhood, the law is quite simple. The child's mother is the woman who gives birth to the child. Of course, there are problems like in everywhere. I am not going to details, but the law is quite simple, and it doesn't make much problems in practice. Regarding the concept of fatherhood, we have three presumptions. The first one, I will be brief. The first one is based on the marriage, quite clear. And second one is based on agreement. And the third one is based on the sexual intercourse. I will provide this presentation to you because we don't have much time, so I'm not going to go to the details. Regarding the concept of parental responsibility, I would like only to stress that we have new concept, which was influenced by the Commission on Family Law regarding principles on European family law on parental responsibilities. So we distinguish between holding and exercises of rights and duties of the parents towards the children. So again, I'm sorry, I don't have time for details. And here I only would like to stress that the civil code protects the best interest of the child, and that there is presumption of capacity of the child older than 12 years. The law says that the child over 12 years of age is presumed to be able to receive the information, make his own opinion, and communicate it. And regarding the concept of adoption, it's based on tradition and what is new. We have adoption for adults. The new civil code regulates it, and it's in fact come back to the previous regulation between the communist takeover. And now I'm going to conclusion. As I said at the beginning, we have we have quite yes, here we have quite low marriage rate, high divorce rate, and there is a draft regulated which should regulate gender neutral marriage if it was passed. And beside that, we have quite low fertility. We faced a lot of problems connected with abandoning small children, newborn children, baby boxes, and so on. And Czech Republic faces a lot of problems connected with surrogate motherhood. For instance, Czech Supreme Court and Constitutional Court deal with practical problems. For instance, two men and a child. The child was born in California thanks to the surrogate mother, and this man seeks to their child to be registered here in the Czech Republic. So there are a lot of problems, but regarding gender neutral parentage, there is no discussion. So we discuss gender neutral marriage, but gender neutral parentage is not. So thank you very much for your attention. I hope very much that I filled in the time, and thank you again very much.